Hello, Dr. Joe here. Now, do you think it is important that you assess and know your risk of heart disease and strokes? Thought so? Well, there is a new test in town that is being made really popular based on a new study that came out recently. We've known about this blood particle for a while, but it's been swept under the carpet. People don't talk about it. But this new study really talks about how this very blood particle exposes your hidden risk of having heart disease and strokes. So we are going to be talking about the study and why you should get tested, and I shall reveal the at-risk groups, okay? So how about we jump right in? This is about flagging up your hidden risk of heart disease and strokes. And this test, you'll be glad to know, costs less than $100. 1 in 5 people have dangerously high levels of this nasty blood particle, and we can blame our genes for this problem on this occasion. We have known about this blood particle since 1963, but the medical community had very little knowledge about whether high levels affected cardiovascular risks, that is to say, risks of having heart attacks and strokes, until recently. Even then, we were blinded to how this dangerous blood particle affected different genders and racial groups. But we now know that everyone's risk is elevated if you have high blood levels of this dangerous blood particle. We also now know from a recent study involving over 27,000 people that if you had extremely high levels of this compound in your blood, you were 46% more likely to develop plaques in your arteries, leading to heart attacks and strokes compared to someone with average levels. If you have diabetes and you have high levels of this blood particle, your risk of forming plaques and hardening your arteries goes up by 92%. Not good at all. The author of this study talks about a man in his 50s who had severe heart disease, having had 2 bypass surgeries, and it wasn't clear why he had such severe heart disease. He recently had the blood test done, and the result came back as 450 milligram per deciliter. That is a very high result, and that is why his heart disease was that severe. The man's children were tested, and half of them had high levels too. This meant this man's children had to work harder to get their cholesterol levels down because a combination of high cholesterol and this blood particle is a recipe for heart attack and strokes. So, what is this dangerous blood particle that we're talking about here? Well, it is called lipoprotein A. Lipoprotein A. So, who should be tested for this lipoprotein A? Number 1, if you have a family history of early heart disease or artery disease before the age of 55, you should get tested. Number 2, if you have high LDL cholesterol, which is a bad cholesterol, even though you take medications to lower it, you should get tested. Number 3, if you have heart disease despite normal cholesterol levels, you should get tested. Number 4, if you have heart disease despite normal triglycerides, you should get tested. Number 5, if you have familial hypercholesterolemia, you should get tested. Number 6, if you have had more than 1 heart attack, you should get tested. Number 7, if you are a diabetic, you should get tested. Number 8, if you smoke, you should get tested. Number 9, if you have high blood pressure, you should get tested. Number 10, if you are a postmenopausal woman, you should get tested. In fact, all adults should be tested. And here is a study published in the Journal of American College of Cardiology with the title, Lipoprotein A and Long-Term Cardiovascular Risk in a Multi-Ethnic Pooled Prospective Cohort. Remember, having a combination of high LDL cholesterol, which is a bad cholesterol, and high lipoprotein A is worse than having just one alone. Remember, this test is a simple blood test. It is called lipoprotein A test. It is inexpensive. Please ask your doctor for it. It will reveal your risk to you and your doctor too. If your levels are high, have your children get tested too. Please let me know in the comment section if this is the first time you're hearing about this test, and if you will get tested knowing what you know now, having watched this video. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is Dr. Joe signing out.